This video is going to include spoilers. So, if you don't want to be spoiled, if you haven't seen the movie already, I'm going to give you to the count of 5 to click off this video. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is your last chance. You better go ahead and do it. And 5. Point Blank Crew, you already know what to do. We are back here with another video today, guys.
Yo YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy J-Dog, back in the gaming hub, back on the grind, back on the game. And today we are playing Spider-Man PS4 and pairing it with a wonderful and in-depth discussion about the Spider-Man No Way Home movie that's released.
Oh yeah, guys, you heard it first from the gaming hub himself. Guys, man, this is gonna be a good one. This one's gonna be a doozy. The movie was fantastic, no pun
100%.
intended, but amazing. It was pretty great, guys. It's pretty great. I'd stay tuned into this video to the very end because we're gonna be touching on some key points. And guys, all right, we are good to go. So I mean, hey. So like, how did you feel? You know, just whenever you heard the movie was gonna first like come out, like how did you feel?
Well, honestly, it got me a little off guard because I remember all the way back when Far From Home was just a rumor. So honestly, it's been a wild ride. And then we got the No Way Home rumor, and I was like, I didn't know what it was gonna be about. I was like, is it just gonna be like another Spider-Man movie? Like, what was really going on? And I was pleasantly surprised to be proven wrong with this next movie that just came.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if it was anything but another just another Spider-Man movie, dude. Honestly, dude, it's a big statement, but I think it's the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
While that's obviously a debatable subject, I can definitely agree that it is 100% in the running for at least top 3, if not number 1.
Yes, dude. The movie was absolutely ridiculous. So, man, the day of the movie, dude, just got a lot of excitement, dude. You ever get really excited about something, dude, the night before or whatnot, dude, and it's just like you can't sleep. You just wanted to be here already, like, did you get that feeling with this? Like, dude, because I mean,
yeah, like the week leading up to it, like I was excited, but it was kind of like I was excited like any other movie. It wasn't until like the day of that like I felt this whole rush of excitement, because it was like, yeah, every other day was like, I can't wait, but then the day of I was like, oh my god, it's finally here. Like I'm getting anxious, just seeing what the movie has to offer, seeing what it's gonna bring.
Most definitely, dude. Most definitely. Man, dude, did it live up to expectations? Dude, it exceeded expectations, I'll say.
Oh, it exceeded all the expectations. From what I've heard from all the critics and the reviews coming in, I don't think anybody was in the least disappointed.
The movie was just phenomenal, bro. But I mean, we're just gonna get this thing started off. We're gonna be talking about our main villains here. So like Doc Ock, dude, you got the scene where he comes in like busting through the bridge with his arms and everything like that. Like, what did you think about whenever he first came in? I mean, of course we seen it in the trailer, but like in the movie, was there like any how'd you feel?
I think that not only did he do a great job playing his villain, but I feel like he was the pioneer in like starting all the hype for the movie, especially the villain. I feel like he did a great job of just like grabbing the attention and being like, whoa, what's happening? What's going on with the movie? I want to see more.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better, dude. Honestly, the whole roller coaster of emotions that he put us through, basically, in this movie, dude. I mean, hey, props up to him, bro. Props up to him. The actor himself. I mean, I've never seen him I don't think I've ever seen him, at least, in any movies except for the Spider-Man movies. But man, dude, he did some great acting. I don't know how you can make someone feel like, okay, so you're supposed to be a big bad villain and everything, like a crazy like scientist. You somehow can make people feel like a whole bunch of like empathy for you, But
well, I think that comes from his, it's just character.
Yeah, I can see where you say that. And then I mean, dude, we got the freaking Sandman back in the mix over here, bro. Dude, I mean, what do you gotta say about that, bro? I mean, he's just a guy that wants to go home to his daughter, bro.
I had mixed feelings about him. Don't get me wrong. I love seeing, and it was the original actor too, which is awesome. They brought him back, played the same role, basically had him in the same shoes. You know, he's just a loving father. He just wanted to see his daughter. I gotta say, it was a little weird seeing the way that they played his character out, because he had some morality to him, but I feel like that quickly went out the window. I feel like he just was kind of, I feel like he kind of got lost in everything, and I feel like just to build up like the tension towards Parker and like getting him some, what am I gonna do? I feel like they made him a villain without really explaining.
The whole scene with him and Jamie Foxx, I mean, you could see it coming though, because the thing with Sandman is he didn't really trust anyone to begin with. He even said in here, hey, I don't trust anybody. He didn't let Peter do anything, bro, because he was like, I don't know you. As soon as he found out that he was a different Peter Parker, his whole attitude changed, because at the start he thought he was just a normal Peter Parker that he knew, the Tobey Maguire Peter Parker. But then as soon as he found out, hey, wait, you're not, what's going on here? Like, you're not my Peter Parker that I'm talking about. Like, you're not the one that I know. His whole attitude towards him changed. So, I mean...
Well, and I understand that, but even if you go back to if you go back to the original movie too, he didn't really trust Peter in that movie. I think also because of the whole, you know, story with that, man, I'm not gonna get into it, like all of it. With everything that happened, Peter didn't really come at him in a positive light. But Sandman wasn't immediately, oh, I hate you, kind of like, well, who are you? You don't even really matter. But in the end, he ended up being able to make peace with him. And so I just feel like that he should have had more conflict, you know. I feel like he shouldn't have just been like, oh, well, you know, I don't know you, so I'm just gonna like go ahead and, you know, gang up on you.
I mean, no, I mean, the way they did it, it wasn't even like that though. I mean, because I mean, he had Electro over here, like basically relating to him. They were both being very relatable to each other. It's like, oh, well, I was in this situation. Like, oh, well, I fell in a thing of eels, and this is how I got mine. And he's like, oh, well, I fell into that sand pit or whatnot. I don't know the exact name they used for it. I mean, you get the idea of what it is. They just kind of had that one-line joke that was just like, oh, hey, next time watch where you fall. And I mean, it was a very relatable, and I mean, it was kind of it humanized him, because I mean, basically throughout the movie, Jamie Foxx other than that scene, Jamie Foxx is literally looked at as basically a killer and like a monster, like, or the Electro, he's basically just looked at as a monster, I feel like. But then you got that, it's kind of like,
I honestly have mixed feelings about him, because his character conflicts, because I feel like part of his character is, I have all this great power because, you know, at one point I didn't. I felt like a nobody, and so now that I have this power, I just want to be somebody. But like, he doesn't really make it the easiest to feel for him in some light. So it's kind of hard for me to be like, oh, well, is he a villain or is he just a guy who got caught up all this other stuff?
I do get that, and it's because of his greediness. It's like he has a little taste of that power, and he just wants more. He doesn't settle for it. He's just like, oh no, I want more power. Like, give me more power. And then he's gonna do whatever it takes for him to get more electricity and more power, so like he can reach his full potential, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, can't say I've ever been in a situation that dire, but I can understand, you know, he says, at one point I was a nobody. I felt like I had nothing. I felt like everybody looked down on me. And so when he got a taste of the power, he was automatically defensive. There was a possibility of it being taken away.
I mean, I think threatened was the correct term, because like Tom Holland's Peter Parker literally was like, no, but I mean, Tom Holland's Peter Parker didn't even ask any questions, bro. He was just like, here, I'll fix you. And that was the thing, like, he thought he was fixed. He felt like he was fixed. He felt like he was whole and everything. He didn't feel like anything was wrong with him. He felt like he was complete because he had that power. It was something that he's never had, and it made him have like a sense of, this is me. It's a part of me.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think to me, the ultimate, you know, thing that it was kind of throwing me off was his confliction. Like, I think his character just kind of conflicted with himself in the way that they portrayed him, and his emotions going back and forth. But
overall, though, I really like the way they played him out, though. I really do, because I mean, it's like any group. I mean, if you have a group of people, you're gonna have some that do agree, and that you're gonna have some that's like, you know, kind of in the middle. That's like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, if it's like a decision or whatnot, and then you got some people that's just gonna go against that decision. I liked it in the sense that, you know, it went really good with the whole plot. And then, dude, what about the lizard? How do you think he contributed to the plot?
I really don't think he contributed at all. Looking at it, to me, it literally looks like they took three main villains. Like, they took villains out of both series and just put them in there as sort of like, we're bringing in new villains for this Peter Parker to see and whatnot. And I feel like all of them were trying to like have their own story, and Lizard just was kind of like a filler one, like just there to like add tension to Tom Holland, you know, give him like another bad guy to fight. I don't feel like he really contributed much to like anything.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel the same way, just because of the fact that while everything in that whole complex was going on, whenever Green Goblin turned on everybody, whenever I guess Electro and Sandman like followed behind and everything like that, and they kind of like, you know, just went out and tried to like basically kill Doc Ock. During that time, I mean, dude, you just got Lizard, you just got him in the back of a feast van, just like, oh, well, it's about time. Because I mean, he wasn't with all of that to begin with in the cell, just like, I'm not going with y'all, I'm not trying to have my power taken away from, because basically the Lizard's whole thing was he was trying to perfect humanity, and he thought that he could do that through turning everyone into a lizard.
Well, and see, I think the biggest problem for me was just the fact that he had character, but he didn't have personality. Like the other villains, like, yeah, they kind of, even with the Lizard, like perfect humanity, like but that was his exact same thing going from like the Amazing Spider-Man movie. And like the other villains, like some of the other villains, they had the same routine in this movie that they did in their own movies. Like they had the same motive, but they did it differently. You know, they acknowledged everything that was going on and they adapted. Versus, I think the Lizard just kind of was the same.
But I mean, really, if you think about it, what are you gonna do with the Lizard though?
At least have him like maybe team up, or maybe have something crazy. Maybe he like gets thrown out for a while, has some like revelation, or maybe he becomes a good guy, or just, you know, just something to kind of mix it up a little bit.
I definitely see what you're saying.
Speaking of, there's one guy we hadn't touched on that I think had probably debatably the biggest impact out of all the villains.
Dude, he made the movie.
Absolutely.
He made the movie. I mean, he had to. Buddy, we are talking about the William Dafoe, Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. Dude, his whole plot, dude, his whole storyline was just marvelous, bro. No pun intended, because it is a Marvel movie. Dude, you couldn't ask for anything better.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, let's just start with his entrance. I mean, he came out, like, they could have started him slow, they could have had him, like, build up to something. They had him straight out of the gate, coming after Peter on the bridge, just, I mean, and in full gear, like, you know, you had the original costume, probably updated a little bit, you know, to fit the character or whatnot, but they had the same costume. They had the laugh that you had, like the goblin bombs. I mean, very explosive entrance, to say the least.
Oh yeah, most definitely, bro. It really just opens to your eyes to how much of a psychopath the Green Goblin the character actually is, bro. With like his like his whole mental things with his split personalities, bro. It's just crazy, dude.
Yeah, and you know what? Something I always thought could have been better in the first Spider-Man movie. It was like a whole new depth of
dude.
like psychopathy. Like it was his own like I said, like a split personality almost that kind of like takes over.
It was literally like you get a 2-for-1 special in that Happy Meal, you know. You don't only get the freaking Big Mac and fries, buddy, but you get the Big Mac, you get the fries, and guess what else you're getting, buddy?
The toy.
Buddy, you're getting that toy, and everybody wants some a toy in a Happy Meal, buddy. Everybody wants some a toy. Now, what kind of toy? We're not gonna get into it, but everybody wants some a toy. But and that's what it gave us, dude. It gave us a lot more like closer, in-depth look at everything, dude. And I feel like that's really what we needed from like to really seal the Green Goblin like as a great villain, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he was always a great villain, but I mean, it's like you were telling me before, like the whole thing with Tom Holland and how the whole thing about him like becoming like his own type of thing, you know? You said this movie kind of like sealed it for that.
Well, yes. So just like just to recap, I definitely think that Tom Holland was he's the baby Spider so far. I feel like he was carried by a lot of other people in his trilogy, and just this latest movie with everything else going on, especially the way they portrayed, you know, the Goblin being so ruthless and just like a psychopath. I feel like him being able to overcome such a horrendous villain on top of everything else, I think that really cemented his place as like a Spider-Man that should absolutely be feared and like respected at the same time. You know, like he's earned his mark. You know.
Speaking of that, dude. I mean, dude, what's your take on Tom Holland in this movie, bro? I mean,
You know,
he takes us through a roller coaster, dude. There's a roller
I was
coaster.
never like a huge fan of his, like just in acting purposes. I feel like he looks very young and he takes on roles maybe fit for like other people of different sizes and statures and reputation. But honestly, I feel like he can pull it off, you know. And coming into the Spider-Man suit, you know, I was very iffy in the beginning because we had seen Spider-Man before, and you know, each time it's kind of like a hit or miss. And I was
Yeah.
really anxious to see where he went with this because, you know, especially in universes like this, you know, things can turn south really quickly and you just go downhill. But
Oh,
you
most
know,
definitely.
he managed to keep up, and he managed to make 3 brilliant movies with a bunch of, you know, other great actors and directors and whatnot. And, you know, especially, like I said in this last movie, you know, he's cemented his place. I feel like he has done his job well and well.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I was trying to tell you before, dude. Tom Holland's no joke. Like, dude, his Spider-Man, bro. I mean, I was always a big fan of. I was never really a hater. I mean, everybody knew that, dude. I was constantly defending the dude on his Spider-Man. And then y'all would think I'm crazy, bro. But I'd be like, no, dude. Like, bro, even Stan Lee said this. Like, yeah, dude, I'd bring all that mess up. The whole scene where Ned and MJ, bro, they're looking for Peter Parker, bro. They're like doing the whole spin thing with Doctor Strange's ring, and then boom, all of a sudden you see Peter Parker in an alleyway. What did you think whenever you seen that, bro? Like,
Well, first of all, you know, just jumping ahead a little bit, y'all were ahead of me in that whole shebang right there, because I was like, what is he doing in an alleyway, and like, why is he wearing that dark suit? Like,
dude,
that
yeah,
doesn't look
dude,
like
I
the suit
thought
from
it, dude,
before.
I thought it was the normal Peter. Like, I thought it was Tom Holland's Peter Parker.
And I was like, why is everybody getting so hyped? Like, I'm seeing, and he starts getting closer, and I was like, oh, well, he's not wearing that suit. He's wearing like his original red and blue suit. But I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like his suit. And the guy coming in looks a lot taller. Which
What did it for me
obviously-
was the lenses. The lens were
To
huge.
me, I think it was the combination of the design and like the stature. Tom Holland being so prevalent right now, you can definitely recognize, you know, his movement and his stature right away. So
Yeah.
that was a key thing for me to see a taller.
Yeah.
Like I said, the suit design.
Yeah, bro. Me and you was right beside each other, dude. Whenever we seen that it was Andrew Garfield, bro. I believe we scared the whole entire movie theater. But by the way, like how we reacted, bro. Like, me and you was in there getting up in the air, dude. You would have thought we done got excited, had a little bit of wet dreams, you know. Like, bro, it was ridiculous, dude. Like, there won't never be another movie, I don't feel like, that would ever make me get that same sense of like excitement, bro. That's the first time I've
absolutely.
ever been like that in a movie. Like, it'd really have to be something like, dude, I would have to see Venom, dude. Venom's my favorite villain, bro. Or anti-hero, whatever you people want to call him. Like, if he was in the movie, bro, honestly, I'd have probably pissed myself.
The thing is, like I was saying at a previous time, it kind of upsets me so much because the hype I had for like just that whole scene. First of all, it surpassed Endgame easily, like in the
Oh
first
my
couple
god, yeah.
seconds.
Dude, it's like Adam said,
I
bro.
think-
This movie's definitely
Yeah.
breaking record.
To me, like, it just makes you upset because literally seconds after all of my like adrenaline left my body, I was like, it doesn't matter how long I wait or like what else comes out, like nothing is going to, I'm never going to be able to watch this movie again and have like the same.
Tobey Maguire, dude. Showing up as, you know, I don't know, I forgot who said it in the movie, dude. Themselves. Looking like he's a youth pastor, dude. Showing up looking like he's like a pastor of a church, bro. Like, and then everybody being so like wowed, you know, just by the fact that he's the only one that doesn't have a web shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, just seeing Tobey Maguire come back, bro, and like just as an older version, bro, and I like how they didn't like try to CGI it, dude, and try to make him look like they did with Doc Ock. I like what they did with Doc Ock because it worked with him, but I feel like it wouldn't have worked the same with Tobey Maguire, bro. if they would have tried to make him look young again.
Tobey Maguire coming back, reprising his role as the original Spider-Man, like the first live-action one. I feel like he did it really well. He was there enough, so you got him, you felt him, you know, you definitely were like, oh my god, I can't believe it's him, he's back. But he wasn't overpowering. Like they didn't, because I mean he could have easily stolen the show and had this huge like mentor lead, or had this huge like, oh, I'm better than you because I've been here longer. But they didn't do anything like that.
Yeah, most definitely. He stayed humble throughout the whole thing, which I really liked. I mean, like we said before, I mean, he was just a very mature, like he was a mature version, you know. Like he came back as like a version of himself, but like if they would have kept the Tobey Maguire series going, like literally you could see him maturing just like the way that he did in the movie. How like he shows like it's just him matured, like I said. But the thing was, dude, like, bro, we can't just sit here and not talk about that one scene, bro, where they're all, dude, you know what scene I'm talking about too, where all three of them are on the Statue of Liberty, and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going back and forth on a debate. And I'm gonna let you talk about that debate, dude, because you said it really did, it brought like a whole bunch of memes and everything out, and like you said like they did it for the fans.
Yeah, I genuinely believe that whole scene was just for the fans, because I mean, if there's one debate,
explain the scene a little bit, just for people that don't know that.
So,
just because.
Well, yeah, heavy spoilers. So, you should already know what I'm about to say if you've seen it.
Yeah.
But so basically, it's Tom and Toby and Andrew. They're talking on the scene, but it's mostly Andrew and Tom, and they're just comparing this and that. They're talking about web shooters. They're talking about villains. They're talking about some of their conflicts they're having, and they're kind of comparing them. But the way that a lot of Spider-Man fans will see it is they're trying to like one up each other, but it's really not like that. And,
it's not. Yeah.
And so the whole scene, it was really for the fans to base. It was just to kind of put all the rumors to rest and try to settle these like heated discussions where people are like, oh well, Tom's better because he has web shooters that he had to make. Well, but like Toby's better because he's organic, or Toby's had to fight 3 villains at once, or Thomas had to do this, or Andrew's had to struggle being Peter Parker, or this or that. I feel like the scene kind of had them all kind of put everything out on the table, and then they all validated each other. They were like, oh, well, you know what, that's what Peter Parker's doing, that's awesome, or that's cool.
Yeah.
And it kind of had them all basically say to the fans without talking to the fans, they're all valid. They're all, great in their own, respect. Andrew Garfield, the best thing about him overall was that like he felt like a fanboy in the movie almost.
He did.
Like he was one of them, and yet he was still geeking out.
He would, dude. The whole entire time, dude. He was like, oh my god, this is so cool. He was like, he's like, all of us here together. He was like, he literally was like, hey, I love you guys, and then they were like, thanks.
And that's awesome, because like, and we'll take a step back from that. Not just him, but Andrew Garfield himself was always a huge Spider-Man fan, and he's even done interviews where he said when they reached out to him to talk to him about that, like he was just absolutely like blown away, like because he loved the movies and he loved Spider-Man so much that he basically said that being a part of it was the greatest gift that they could ever give him. And I think that really showed in his character, even though like he could also relate to them. I mean, you could see the fanboy coming out of him every other second. Oh
yeah, most definitely, dude. I mean, dude, like you were saying, like that's him in real life too, though, bro. It's not like that was just for the movie. Like, dude, that's how his personality is in real life, though.
But now, speaking of his character, I want to touch on his redemption. I feel like he had in the movie.
Oh yeah.
You know, he first of all, he comes in and like he's super enthusiastic. I feel like he's very true to his character.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the way he acted was literally spot on to the way his actual Peter Parker would react in a situation like that.
Absolutely.
And I feel like, but see, I think it was very easy for him because, like we were saying, like he put a lot of himself in the Peter Parker, so it probably wasn't very hard for him to be able to act genuine with his character because he was already genuine.
Yeah,
and I think that his redemption arc was just absolutely beautiful in the movie.
Oh yeah, most definitely him going from the sky, dude, going after Zendaya, bro, because he knows that he doesn't want Tom Holland to make the same mistake. So then he takes it upon himself, bro, to save her just because of the fact that he knows how that story ends.
And
falling
you know
like
what?
that,
I
like.
think. Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that was a great scene because, you know, you're thinking, okay, well, you know, Toby in his first movie, he saved the love of his life and a whole train car full of people in the same scene. But then Andrew Garfield, he only had the one thing, but it was just such a heartbreaking moment where, you know, he lost a woman that he loved. And even, you know, watching him talk about it in the movie, you know, you could see how torn up he was.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
man.
seeing Tom, like, it seemed like Tom was gonna catch her if, you know, the Goblin hadn't gotten in the way. But the fact that he did gave Andrew the perfect opportunity, and you could see it in his eyes. Like, it was on instinct. That he just went and he got her. And
He was like, yeah.
Yeah. I even saw somebody who made a great comparison. He said that Andrew Garfield didn't save MJ. He saved somebody else's Gwen Stacy. Which I think that just resonated so well, because his first thought wasn't, oh, I need to save this person just because that's what I do. I feel like his first thought was, oh my god, this person that somebody loves is about to be taken away.
Yeah.
And I want to help that because I know what that's like.
Yep. I definitely see that. I definitely agree with you. Dude, we got to talk about that final fight, dude. Tobey Maguire and the Green Goblin, bro. Like,
honestly, I wish there was more.
Not Tobey Maguire, but Tom Holland, bro, and the Green Goblin.
Those lunatics will kill someone driving like that.
I mean, bro. Dude, just imagine that, bro. This guy killed his Aunt May, bro. I mean, it's not like, you know, it was just some random, like, dude, this was literally his aunt, bro. I mean, his family, the person that he's been living with that's been taking care of him the whole entire time, you know?
Yeah.
And you can see in the movie, like, dude, he's enraged. He's pissed. He's wanting to kill, like, he as you can see, he's beating the living crap out of the guy. You know, he's wanting to kill him. He even grabbed his glider and everything and was like, literally about to.
Oh yeah, ready to
stab it right through him, dude. Freaking Tobey Maguire his tail. But I mean, he didn't end up doing that. Oh god, I just got ran over. But
you know, and honestly, we can get to this in a second. I mean, you already know my feelings about, like, you know, Aunt May's actual death. But, you know, everything that he was going through at the time, I feel like that made a great, you know, opportunity for Andrew, especially Andrew, you know, with everything we were talking about, and Toby to basically give him a little bit of, like, advice, you know, use their seniority, you know, to their advantage, where they can say, like, you know, everybody's different. We know that you're going through a struggling time, but we also went through this, and, you know, this is kind of how we dealt with it.
Yeah.
And even though, you know, and even Toby was saying, like, you know, when my Uncle Ben died, you know, I wanted to find the man responsible, and I wanted to kill him.
And
but
he said he got it done. He got it done. But he felt guilty afterwards. Like,
because even though, you know, he did all that, I mean, it didn't bring Uncle Ben back, and it didn't make him feel any better.
And guys, that's gonna be a wrap for us. You know, it was a really great video that we got going on here. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you. It really helps out. We're trying to get that average view duration up, because that stuff really matters to me. It really counts. Okay, so we're really trying to get that up. But guys, if y'all want to continue seeing me and the gaming hub over here, if y'all want to continue seeing us doing this, just leave a comment down below. Let me know if you like stuff like this. Leave a like. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. You know, pour some more. And guys, if you aren't already, as always, please hit that subscribe button. Every subscriber counts. Every view counts. So I mean, if you want to share this to your mom, to your mom's mom, which would be your grandma, to your dad, you know, to your cousin, to your cousin's cousin, to your cousin's girlfriend that you forgot may be your sister. But either way Alabama goes, okay? I mean, either way. And if you're from Alabama, you know, I'm not trying to knock you, you know. Virginia has their times too. But you know, we're not gonna get into that. You know, potato. But anyway, Point Blank Crew. I'm not gonna say it one time, but Point Blank Crew. You know, I'm not gonna say it 2 times, because you know what they say, 3 times a charm. It's like I already said in this video, 3 times a charm. Point Blank Crew, you already know what it do. We out.